push my trailer air supply, which is already in, and my parking brake. I'm going to push these two buttons in. Okay. Then I'm going to apply full pressure on my foot brake. Now I got to make sure that I check and see that there's no more than 4 psi drop over here in 1 minute. So if it's more than 4 psi drop, I got a problem. So I can see that the needle is going down, and I got to wait until it stabilizes. So right now it stabilizes, right? I got to count for 1 minute to make sure that my pressure is not dropping more than 4 psi in 1 minute. All right, now once I check to make sure that in a minute I'm good, I can continue to start finding my brake. At 60 psi, which is half of the government rate, I should hear that buzzer. Do you hear that buzzer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I also should see a light on my dash. I don't see the light yet, so I should see the light on my dash.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, there's low air. So I hear the buzzer and I see the low air pressure that kind of came on right at 60 psi. I'm going to continue to fan the brakes. Between 45 and 20, I should see those to pop out, okay? Because you guys see that he's already at 40 right now. All right, so when I do that, after I start finding the brake, I should see my trailer air supply and my parking brake popped out. Once I see them popped out, I'm just going to verify to make sure that they're both out. Okay?
Okay.
And I can see that they're both out. That completes the breakdown of the brakes. So between 45 and 20, these two should pop out because I stayed on the foot. It continued to drop and it caused them to pop out. Okay?
Okay.
Now I'm going to go ahead and do a safe start again. Alright, now while I'm building my air pressure, I can see that my oil pressure is rising, which is okay. I should be having it between 20 and 60. While I'm building the air pressure, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my pre-trip. Okay, inside cap. I'm going to talk about my windshield. My windshield is no crack, there's no damage. I see that there's no illegal stickers on the windshield. It is in good condition. My steering wheel, I have no more than 4 inches excess plate, 2 on each side. So 2 inches on each side, I don't have more than that. Uh-oh, I don't have a horn. I don't have an
It's a twist and turn.
Horn. Huh?
It's a twist turn below.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I got an audible and adequate horn. Now I'm going to check my indicators. So I can see my left indicator, I can see my right indicator, I can see my 4 ways indicator, and now I gotta check my high beams. My high beams, I gotta have my lights on. I can see my high beam indicator right there. Okay, it's working. Now I'm gonna check my gauges. Alright, so I got my voltmeter. It's at 14 volts. My oil pressure gauge is showing at 30. My water temperature gauge is showing at 120. My RPMs are responding accordingly. I give them gas or fuel. My air pressure, I got both of my air pressure gauges are rising up. And they're showing at 70 psi right now. Now I'm going to check my windshield wipers. Make sure that my washer and wipers are working properly. Alright. And I can see that my washer is working because I was able to eliminate any excess moisture from the windshield. And it seems like that the windshield wipers have good tension. They're properly attached, they're in good condition. Okay, now I'm continuing to move along. So I got my windshield wipers. Now I'm gonna check now my AC.
Environmental control.
Make sure that my AC is properly working. It is working properly. Now I'm gonna check my defrost. Making sure that my defrost is properly working, and it is. Now I'm going to check my heat. Make sure that my heat is working, and it is. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and check my floorboard. Make sure that I have no debris on the floor. This type of equipment, UPS equipment, it has a master secret breaker, which is in the wire in the side of the firewall end of the engine. But if it didn't have that, then I got to make sure that the fuse box is on the glove box, and I got to make sure that I have 3 fuses, 3 spare fuses. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to do a parking brake test. To do my parking brake test, what I'm going to do is I am going to push in on my trailer air supply. I got to build my pressure now again until I hear the governor kick off before I do the parking brake test. Anytime I'm checking any of these brake tests, parking brake and the trailer supply or the trailer brakes, anytime I got to check one of these, I got to make sure that my air pressure is completely built and I hear the governor kick off before I can try to test it. So as you can see, I can see the air pressure going back up. I just heard it. I heard the governor kickoff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a parking brake test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the engine in the lowest gear without applying any fuel. I'm just going to try to release the clutch easily to make sure that the tractor is holding. And I can see that it's holding. Alright, so I just tested my parking brake. I'm going to put it back in neutral. Now I'm going to go ahead and build my air pressure again because now I got to do my trailer brakes. So I got to wait for the governor to kick in again before I try my trailer brakes. I heard it. I just heard the governor kick off. Now I'm going to do my trailer brake. So what I'm going to do is, this time I am going to release my parking brake. And I'm going to put my trailer air supply to make sure that my trailer brakes are holding. I'm going to put it in the lowest gear without applying any fuel. I want to make sure that it's holding. Trailer brakes are applied, so they're holding. Okay, so that completes my brake test. Put it in neutral again. All right, now if I need to check my service brake, which is this one right here, either service brake or foot brake. Okay, so in order to test my foot brake or my service brake, what I'll do is I'm going to put the engine in the lowest gear, and I'm going to start rolling at about 5 miles per hour. Okay, one side, I'm not going to do it. I'm just telling you on how to do it because that's how you do it on for the actual exam. You don't have to do it, but you got to explain to me how you want to test it. So the way I'll do it is I'm going to put the engine in the lowest gear. I'm going to let it roll at about 5 miles per hour. Then I'm going to activate my foot brake or push my foot brake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it doesn't go left or right. And that will be the conclusion of my foot brake. That's how I'm going to test it. So I just pretty much want to see that it works. But if you start going to the left or to the right, that means I got a problem with my service brake. Okay? But that's how you do the test, the service brake. Alright? At that point, this will conclude the impact inside of the tractor. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to check the lights. Okay, so if you guys want to step out, then what I'm going to do is I am going to tell you what lights to check for me.
Okay.
The person doing the exam is not going to tell you what to check. You got to tell him what he wants you to check. Okay, what you want him to check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I need to check the 3 ID lights and my clearance lights. Are they working? Are they on? They're on? Okay, so I got 3 ID lights, 2 clearance lights, right? I want you to check my headlights. All right? Can you check my left directional? My right directional? My high beams? My 4-way flashers? All right, I'm done with the front. I want you to check the back of my tractor now.
Okay.
So the back of the tractor, I got lights too, right?
Yeah. Side marker.
So right now, no, right here, the tractor, on the tractor. Back of the tractor, you see that? There you go. All right, so the tractor, I want to have, I'm checking right now my tail lights.
Yeah.
All right? What about my brake lights? All right, what about my left directional? What about my right directional? What about my 4-way flashers? All right, I'm done with the tractor. Now I want you to check my trailer. On the tractor right here, I should have my left directional to work. Right here, right here.
Oh. Oh yeah.
So my left directional is working?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I want you to check the top of my trailer right here. Clearance lights on the top. Are they on?
Yes, sir.
All right, so my clearance lights are working, right?
Yes.
All right, now go to the back of the trailer. On the back, at the end, I got a marker light. You see that red light? All right, the marker light is working, right? Now go to the back of the trailer and check on the top. My ID lights and my tail lights. They're working. All right, what about my brake lights? What about my left directional? My right directional? My 4-way flashers? All right, that concludes all my lights. I'm done. See that? That's it.